Two students walk into the same lecture, same professor, same slides, same hour. One types every word on a laptop, capturing almost everything the professor says. The other writes by hand, capturing far less, maybe a third of it. A week later, they're tested. The laptop student, the one who wrote down more, scores worse, not slightly worse, consistently worse. This isn't a one-time fluke. It's been replicated in study after study. And it destroys one of the most common assumptions about learning, that capturing more information means remembering more of it. Today, I'm going to show you why your hand might be a better learning tool than your keyboard. And it's not about nostalgia. It's about biology. Here's what most people assume. Typing is faster. Faster means you write down more. More notes means better studying later. It sounds logical, efficient, modern, and it's almost completely backwards. Because the goal of taking notes was never to create a perfect transcript. The goal was always to help your brain process and remember the information. And it turns out those two goals don't always align. Typing optimizes for capturing words. Handwriting optimizes for capturing meaning. And meaning is what actually gets remembered. Reason number 1. Typing is too easy. Most people can type close to the speed someone talks. So when you're typing notes, your brain doesn't need to summarize, prioritize, or think. It just needs to listen and transcribe, word for word. Almost like a stenographer, that process barely engages your brain at all. Information goes in through your ears and straight out through your fingers, without ever really stopping in your memory along the way. Researchers call this shallow processing, and it's one of the worst ways to learn something. Reason number 2. Handwriting is slow, and that's exactly why it works. You physically cannot write as fast as someone speaks, so your brain is forced to make quick decisions in real time. What matters? What can I skip? How do I phrase this shorter? That process is called generative processing. You're not copying information. You're reconstructing it in your own words as it comes in. And that reconstruction step is where real learning happens. It's the mental equivalent of chewing your food instead of swallowing it whole. Reason number 3, and this one's surprising. Your hand movements themselves help you remember. When you write a word by hand, your brain doesn't just process the meaning. It also encodes the physical motion of forming each letter. This creates something researchers call motor memory, a second, physical layer of memory alongside the mental one. Typing doesn't offer this the same way. Every letter is just the same flat key press, over and over. An A feels identical to a Z under your fingers. But when you write, every letter has a unique physical shape, a unique motion, a unique feel. That physical uniqueness helps your brain form stronger, more distinct memories. Reason number 4. Handwriting lights up more of your brain at once. Brain imaging studies show that handwriting activates areas responsible for movement, visual processing, and language simultaneously. Typing activates far fewer of these regions, and much more repetitively. More brain regions working together during learning generally means stronger, more durable memories. It's not that typing doesn't use your brain, it's that handwriting recruits more of it, in more varied ways, for the exact same piece of information. Reason number 5. Friction is a feature, not a flaw. We tend to think slower means worse. But in learning, some friction is actually helpful. When something is too easy to capture, your brain assumes it doesn't need to hold on to it. Why remember something you can just look up in your notes later? But when writing takes real effort, your brain treats that information as more important, simply because of the energy spent capturing it. This is sometimes called the effort heuristic in memory research. More effort during learning frequently leads to better retention afterward. Now, to be fair, typing isn't completely without value. It's incredibly useful for speed, for searchability, for long documents, for collaboration. If you need to capture large amounts of exact information quickly, typing still wins. But if your actual goal is to remember and understand something, not just store it, but actually learn it, handwriting has a real, measurable advantage. The question isn't which tool is better. It's what am I actually trying to accomplish? So here's how to use this practically. 1. Handwrite anything you want to deeply understand or remember long-term. Lecture notes, key concepts, complex ideas. 2. Type when speed and storage matter more than retention. Long reference documents, quick reminders, collaborative work. 3. Don't try to write everything down by hand. Summarize in your own words instead of transcribing exactly what you hear. 4. Combine both. Handwrite your first notes to encode them deeply, Then type a clean digital copy afterward for easy searching and storage. 5. For something you truly need memorized, write it by hand more than once. The repeated physical motion reinforces the memory even further. So the next time you're deciding whether to grab a laptop or a notebook, remember this. It's not about which one is faster. It's about which one makes your brain actually work. Typing helps you collect information. Handwriting helps you keep it. And if the goal was always to remember, not just to record, then maybe the slowest tool in the room was the smartest one all along.